Sierra, it is the June Dairy Parade. You've got Sierra Lauder and Shaena Peterson here, and we're going to be broadcasting our 62nd annual June Dairy Parade.
This is our third time of doing this together, which is pretty fun.
Well, and you know, we're sitting right here at Tillamook Motors. In fact, I'll be talking about some fine-looking rigs they've got available. But they have provided us a broadcast booth for many years. But now, and you were here when it was so warm.
Oh, man. 3 years ago when we had the really hot June Dairy Parade day, and we were parked in that remember that truck that year was so beautiful?
It was.
And the bed of it was so big that we were set up with the table with men behind us holding umbrellas over us.
Thank you, Jess Fink. Sales manager extraordinaire.
Coolers of water. It was like a truck you could move into the back of, it seemed like.
It was very nice, but I think where we're located now, and if you're over around here, stop by and say hi. We're at the right where you go into parks, and it's a perfect place for our broadcast booth.
It is, yeah. We would be ready for that kind of sun today. We're kind of undercover a little bit, and the truck that we're in this year is more compact, but perfect for this job.
You know, they've got, and I don't know if this is a nice-looking rig, but it is a shorter box. But that was one of the things. I'm going to talk a little bit later about some of these. That new Ford Ranger.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of that. This is the first time they've made a change in the Ranger in, I'd have to look, but years and years
a long
and years.
Time.
Yeah, major change and a step up for that. But one of the things that made it kind of easier, but I like it better, and I think we'll probably do this in the future. We have got one sponsor, and a wonderful sponsor it is. Our Oregon Coast Dance Center is sponsoring the parade this year.
It's such a perfect match.
The parade broadcast.
The parade broadcast. Yeah, it's such a perfect match. Since they've moved into that space next to Yo Time, right there on that block between third and fourth, just north of Yo Time, just south of the movie theater. They're right on the parade route now, and of course they're always in the parade, a staple of the parade lineup. And that is, and you get to hear Lisa's voice because she does host our Tillamook Today. The majority of our Tillamook Todays are at 9:30 on KTIL. But she's a busy woman, isn't she? Oh, yeah, she really is. And so committed to kids programs and the arts in the county, and always fun to talk to, partially, of course, because of her role with the radio, but I think also just reflective of who she is as a person. She's so invested in everything that's going on and just a great resource.
Well, the Oregon Coast Dance Center, her dance studio has been providing dance lessons to a lot of people for years.
Oh, yes. The business itself, I think did she dance there as a kid as kind of part of her history?
I want to say yes, but
and she gave us this great history that we can probably
just touch on that a little bit.
Sure. So maybe we could just do a paragraph here, a paragraph there.
We'll do that throughout because I wanted to say, and we're going to touch on a lot of wonderful things that Oregon Coast Dance is doing, and we can't see them yet, but they've already let them out of the gate, so we'll see our parade entries coming soon. But there's someone that wasn't going to be in the parade that is in the parade. Justin let me know that a friend of Tillamook made it over.
Man, a hard-working friend of Tillamook.
A hard-working friend of Tillamook. We're talking about our state senator, Betsy Johnson, and she'll be up near the front eye here in a 62 Cadillac.
Right. Speaking of people who are plugged into the community and do their best to know what's going on and really represent her entire constituency, which I can only imagine has changed so much in the time that she's been representing. You know, the number of people who've moved in to the coast and the evolution of what the economy has looked like here and the way it continues to grow. She really has her work cut out for her to balance all that change.
And I know a few years back when they changed the districting, and we now have a couple of senators, and we have Arnie Roebland to the south, but I still feel like she's our senator.
Oh, yeah, she's looking out for everybody. At the time that change happened, I still lived in South County, and I remember just being so devastated that I was losing Betsy, but of course, no loss.
We didn't lose Betsy, not at all. And a lot of the people, we've got a lot of entries this year, even with a simple minor adjustments, over 120 entries again this year.
Yeah, it's great. It's so fun to see historical kind of an activity like this continue to thrive and grow. And we were just talking before we came on the air about how the parade route has expanded this year.
Yes, it has.
So I don't know how long we continue to say we're going the opposite way.
I think we're going the way now.
So we're on year 3 of going northbound along Main Avenue. And it used to be the last 2 years while we were in the midst of the highway project that the parade would take a right on 3rd Street. So you'd go north along Main, hang a right on 3rd, and then go eastbound on 3rd Street out towards Goodspeed Park and kind of disperse there. It's really the change in direction has been really spread out the staging in a way that works well, provides lots of room for floats at the fairgrounds, provides great staging space for the equestrian entries, puts the walkers closer to the start over by the PUD, and the high school hosts some staging there in front of them. But this year, with the wrap-up of the highway project, Chief Wright was able to put the pieces in place so that the parade will now go north on Main all the way up to 1st Street, make a right on 1st Street, so headed eastbound, just 1 block there, and then hanging a right on Pacific at the rodeo corner, and then back down Pacific just a couple of blocks and making a left on 3rd and headed out to Goodspeed. So hopefully our dancers have prepared themselves for an extra...
That is a little bit longer for them, and they do a great job. We'll see that our dancers will be throughout. We'll have our Tillamook School of Dance will be one of the first ones, and I think they're around 30 or so. I think our Oregon, and I say number 30, and then another 20 entries or so. We'll have our Oregon Coast Dance Theater, and then later, near to the end, we'll have Dance Zone.
Dance Zone, yes,
yeah.
The competitive girls at Dance Zone. They have a great competition team there.
Is that, and I think we're really lucky in a community our size to have 3 wonderful dance studios.
Which I think all would really acknowledge how they respect each other for having different focus, you know?
Now, your son actually did
tumbling last year at Oregon Coast Dance Center with Lisa. So she has a variety of kids' activities. She gave us a little list here of some of the things she has going on. So she has her summer schedule that's starting on the 24th, which is Monday. How
does that happen? Yes, so summer schedule.
So she's doing hula and adult hip hop. Registration is open now still. I think you can hop in there. There's 2 different tumbling camps, one in July and one in August. When my son registered for this last year, we told him it was ninja training.
There you go.
And it was true. He loved it so much. And then she's got a fall season that starts in September. She does classes really for all ages, so toddlers, ballet, tap, and tumbling, ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, tumbling, contemporary, musical theater for kids ages 6 to 18, and then teens and adults 16 and up, ballet, tap, jazz, and hip-hop.
Sarah Charlton take tap there and really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah, I really think
she's our librarian.
Yeah, the full age range is well represented there. And I think Lisa does a good job teaching to kind of all of those different ranges. She specializes the classes. Last year when my son Ocean did the tumbling, it was so fun for him because they had that sort of the ninja practice stuff, but then they also had some art pieces, and they walked to the park, and just really kept things kind of fresh and interesting so that the entire camp was busy and fun for him.
Another change that we made, I want to say was made a couple years ago, that our rodeo is now on Friday and Saturday. And I think that was a good change also.
I think so, too. It makes the whole weekend kind of festive, but it gives you that Sunday recovery day, which is critical.
And I imagine today is Kids Day, so kids with a parent get in free, and gates open at 4, and rodeo and starts at 7. But we'll see the the rodeo fly girls and all kinds of our rodeo queens are be riding true today.
I love those big floral arrangements that they mount on the horses, and I always think about those girls don't get enough credit for the flexibility it takes to climb up on a horse between
with that behind them.
You don't just swing your leg over that. That's a delicate entry.
And they've got our rodeo has some great sponsors, and something I think they might have started it last year. They have a brew fest thing going on at the same time too.
Hooves and hops, is that what they're calling that?
Hops.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Hooves and hops. But anyway, that's out at our fairgrounds, and there's all kinds of things going on in town today. Of course, the farmers market is happening. I think Sadie, if you haven't had a chance, this is only the second weekend of farmers market, and it runs through September. And Sadie, the market manager, has really spent a lot of energy this year focusing on kids' activities throughout the summer. So I think opening weekend there was planter pot painting. Did you see that fun activity? And I know she's got some other cool stuff coming up, some love rocks painting kinds of things. And a neat thing about it is go every Saturday and Friday up in Manzanita, Sunday down in Pacific City, also Saturday down in Nesquilin. But as I was thinking, the strawberry patch girls were there, so that was there. But we'll see our vegetables and that change as the season continues.
Right, new stuff every week.
You know, I'm looking down there, and I think I see a vehicle, and that would be, I'm pretty sure that would be our opening banner coming down here, and that's going to probably be Nick Troxel in a Ford Explorer.
Oh, cool.
And it'll be a patrol car. But not too far away. He's down by Center Market. If you know where we're at, you know where I'm talking about. They're about to the corner of 6th and Main Street, heading our direction.
So as we talk about each entry in the parade, we have kind of this cheat sheet that's given to us that describes each entry as they kind of self-describe. So it's my belief that Nick Troxel wrote this description, and he has written here in a description of the 2017 Ford Explorer that it has black wheels and good rubber. So we'll want to be on the lookout for that rubber.
There you go. You know, we're lucky to have such an involved in law enforcement officer, but that's true of many. And Nick Troxel will probably be the first one to say it, but that fellow steps up.
He really does. He's part of the Rotary group here in Tillamook, and on Tuesdays they always have lunch at the Elks, and I often find myself sitting next to him because he loves to entertain the baby, you know.
Oh, yes, I could see that.
So, so he's a great guy, and it's always fun to see him. I think he both starts and finishes the parade.
Well, and you know, something nice is happening as I see our vehicles approaching, and we'll join them, because right after Nick and our police vehicles, and it looks like there's a sheriff's vehicle, and our opening banner, we'll have our color guard, and I see the people are standing out of respect because we will have our U.S. Coast Guard color guard, and I think that's very nice.
I do too. I love
like
how
that.
they really have gotten so involved in the parade over the last few years, and I love that they usually bring the boats too. We've seen the boats in the parade.
Hey, Piggy. I did one of our AFS, one of our foreign exchange students just walked by.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Nice young man from Portugal. And here we are with yes, I see them, the Dairylands, and we'll keep talking because we've got a couple of police vehicles coming down, and there is Nick Troxel, and I'm not sure who's in our sheriff's rig that's following him. There they are.
Look at that rubber. That is some.
And there he is, Nick. Good rubber. That is nice and black and shiny. Yep, they polished him up, and they always look good.
They really do. They look nice.
And here we have one of our sheriff's rigs followed right behind. Good-looking rig there. I can't quite see who's in there, but
it looks like it's Jim.
It is Jim. That is Lieutenant Horton. Looking good there, sir. And now next with our Dairylands, and we are opening up because we do have our opening banner for the Dairylands.
For the Dairylands. I think this year the banner carriers are affiliated with the junior high school football team.
Well, there you go. How nice of them to step up.
Yeah. Looking good.
And, folks, that is one thing. If you want to volunteer with a great bunch of people, here's the way to do it. Just check in at the chamber because this takes a lot of people to put this on.
My really
son
does.
Vince was out at the fairgrounds about 7:30 helping with horses.
Yeah, I'll tell you that the horse role takes a certain kind of expertise. So if there are people who know anything about horses, those are always very coveted volunteers.
Well, and like Vince said, I don't have to ride, Mom, and he's, he's comfortable on the ground with them, and that's what it takes.
That's exactly.
And here is our color guard from our Coast Guard, and aren't they it's just wonderful to see this.
Mm-hmm.
As usual, and you say we're lucky to have our Coast Guard. I mean, I can't imagine them not being there. They've been there, it seems, forever for me.
Very involved in the community. They do a great job just bringing awareness to safety concerns in Tillamook Bay and making sure people have the tools that they need to be as safe as possible going in and out of there.
And though we haven't had any flooding, I can remember floods, I think of the 6th, when Highway 101 is flooded there. I can remember one of their boats. They're out there helping us in those and working with our people all the time.
Absolutely.
Oh, and there's our mayor, Suzanne Weber, mayor of Tillamook.
So she is. Do you know what that car is?
I am not sure. Let's see what Mayor Weber.
It looks like Tillamook Ford has donated her car that she's riding in.
That is a nice-looking convertible, a Thunderbird. Years ago, a friend of mine was so incensed when she found out her husband had bought her a Ford. She said, I thought it was a Thunderbird. And it is a fine-looking car.
The mayor looks great. She's wearing her ribbon today.
It's a beautiful car.
Beautiful driver.
Mayor Weber.
Ken Phillips is behind the wheel there. Look out, Suzanne. Hold on tight.
Hey, and now this is Chris Wilkes Construction, and that is
the Tillamook County Dairy Women.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that's a nice-looking float. The area? Is that her area?
It looks like it, yeah. Area Wilkes.
Area Wilkes. Lovely, nice-looking float. And that's a fine-looking 51 Ford following it right up there behind. Good-looking float. That's a nice-looking cow.
The theme this year, we haven't even talked about the theme this year, is it's utterly a moo thing. So lots of music in this year's float.
Lots of music.
The area's float has music notes all along it, features a full-size, not real cow. And I don't know, kind of the bringing up the rear of her entry is classic.
That is
truck.
A classic 51 Ford pickup. Nice look. And Chris Wilkes Construction, I think if you needed, I'm thinking if you needed a pole building or a few things, you want to be calling Chris Wilkes Construction. And beautiful, beautiful job. Looking good. And
here we go.
Know about our little mini buses.
So it's the TCCA. They are the big June Dairy Parade sponsor. So they always represent up here up front, and it looks like they've upgraded. So the mini loaf, the Love Loaf,
yes,
they now have a convertible version.
It's pretty impressive, folks.
Really impressive.
They've shortened them up, so they are like mini. You know what they are. They're BW buses, but they've shortened them up to mini loaves.
They're super cute. And so this is always an entry that gets the kids going, doesn't it?
It does, because it looks like they're packing plenty of stuff to give away.
Cheese tasters.
We're lucky to have them. That's an amazing job that I haven't been by very often at our new cheese factory. The building is unbelievable.
It's so beautiful.
But it is packed all the time. It is a draw. Look at great turnout from our cheese factory.
We were just in Japan last week, and the family that we were staying with was familiar with thank you, was familiar with the ice cream from the cheese factory.
I like that. That's right. You just got back from Japan, didn't you?
Yeah,
What
it
a
was really fun.
trip.
Yeah. So lots of families out today with the TCCA, which is really reflective of the kind of company they are. Family-focused. Thank you.
Well, very good. I think we won't starve either. We've got some cheese, folks.
So here's the non-convertible version. So people who they were ready if it was raining for
yes,
to pack
we were.
people in.
We were. Followed up, I think we're going to be seeing a couple of their Kenworths, so you can hear them coming. Those semis stay busy.
And so each one of these pulls a 53-foot box van trailer, which is pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive, and you can see these newer rigs, they're refrigerated. Obviously, they need to be.
Right.
But these are nice-looking vehicles.
It's so great that they bring them out for the parade every year. And,
I like that.
They have them decorated this year with cow balloons, blue balloons, and lots of shiny blue fringe.
And that was a little bit of polishing. Look at those tires and wheels.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah. You can hear them there.
There you go.
Horn work.
There you go.
All right.
And kids love an air horn.
Yeah.
We got in trouble that when we were kids. We'd be in the back of the pickup and going like that and startled Mother up on the Seattle Turnpike one time, and she was not thrilled.
It is.
I think we made the truck driver laugh.
Yeah, one of those universal, transcendental.
You just know to go like that. I just did it. I did it again. I can't not.
It's so fun out here. So from where we're sitting, we can just see people lined up on both sides of the road. Lots of chairs, lots of blankets, dogs, kids, all of whom seem to be dealing with this sound quite well. So far,
they really are, and it looks. I don't know, but it seems like there's even more people this year.
That's what I was thinking, and certainly the streets are packed to those extra blocks. You know, that really reflects even more people coming out to watch. Again, this is the second one of these big trucks that the cheese factory has entered. This one is teeming with children pulling that air horn.
And that I like some of this, on some of it you'll see the ice cream or whatever. This one says Tillamook. We're proud of that name.
Yep. Just looks like a huge cheese loaf, doesn't it?
It does. I got a kick out of our Mayor Weber one time. Someone was here and she gave them a block of cheese and the fellow said, "So that's where Tillamook comes from." I just kind of thought everybody knew, but they do. They do now.
They do now.
And next, it looks like is that our Tillamook County Dairy Princess? I'll have to.
The Tillamook County Jersey Princess.
There it is. There she is. She is.
So now we've been around long enough that this is a classic Chevy truck.
You're right. Yeah, there's some that was. I don't think. Can we just say if they're over 20? Because everything's over 20 years old now.
Right. So this is a Chevy Stepside. Is it the Scottsdale edition? Does that sound right to you?
She's going all car-y on me now. So.
Yeah. Well, I practiced for this.
That is a nice-looking pickup with our Tillamook County Jersey Princess in it. And who's our Jersey? Nia Johnson.
She looks great. She has a really fun bright yellow dress. You can really see her glowing in the back there. And
yellow goes better with jerseys.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's right.
There you go. And right behind that is our Grand Marshal, Ron Hurleman, and his wife, Bonnie. And let's see, that is a 67 Ford Fairlane. Nice-looking rig.
Beautiful car.
There. I got to visit with Ron years, of course, generations that our Hurlemans have been here in Tillamook. And he's from down south a little bit, but nicest people.
Really nice guy.
Nicest people. Couldn't talk him into doing Tillamook today, but he came in and visited a little bit across the table with me.
That's fun. So his driver there, the owner of that Fairlane, Mike, he is retired.
There's Bonnie, his wife, too.
Oh, yeah, he retired from the Coast Guard here locally and has stayed in Tillamook and has that classic car. We're listening now to the 204th Army Band from Vancouver, Washington. This band is brought to you, sponsored by Warner, Gourmet Meat Snacks. They have recently gone through this whole rebranding effort. Here's George Warner and his family driving the truck.
And the nice thing about this, our wonderful Army Band, the 204th Army Band, is going to be out at Warner's later for the dedication of that amazing flag.
Yes. And so they have rebranded. So you remember their black shirts with the red logos, and we still see some of those. But the new logo features this bright, distinctive teal color, and their tagline is "Ready for Everything." I love it. It's my favorite tagline I've ever heard.
And the neat thing, if you haven't been out to Werner's, you're doing yourself a disservice. That beef and brew that's out there on 3rd Street,
it's such
hard
a
to
fun
miss that flag.
Outdoor seating, pets are welcome on the patio. They have a little TV out there. And you'll notice passing out the jerky here.
Absolutely.
Honoring Grand Marshal Ken Warner. He was the Citizen of the Year last year, voted in, and really doing his part, winning votes for next year, passing out that jerky.
Yes, he is. And here's another one. This is the Warner Trucking Team. We just saw them handing out jerky. But this 1985 Army Blazer with a Humvee trailer, there it is. You know, the 2848 VFW post is kind of working on trying to acquire that. I think that ought to belong to
that's a beautiful rig.
Hey there they are. There they are. And a good job, and thank you all for being here.
So they've got some scouts there, right, as part of that group?
Yes, they do.
And they have the Mayor's Cup banner in front of them. So now the next entry, we're at number 16 now. And Pioneer of the Year?
Yes, Dolly Boquist, our Pioneer of the Year. What a nice woman. She is a neat person, her and Bub. That looks like Bub right there. Hi, Dolly.
She's riding in style.
And there's Bub. Nice people, nicest people. We're lucky to have them. You know, we're so lucky with years of experience. Bub Boquist was pretty interesting. He explained to me back when he had less than 10 cows. We said back then, Sheena, that wasn't so unusual because there was 700 farms, about the same number of cows, but just lesser cows at each farm.
Right.
Now we have 90-some farms, but still about the same number of cows. And look, oh my goodness, and there's Arella Chadwick, our centenarian. Yes, what a neat woman. She's been so involved in the 62 years of this parade.
When we talk about this parade being an ongoing legacy, I mean, we have to give her a lot of credit for the lift she made carrying that along. Here she is, our mystery guest.
She is, our mystery guest. That's a fine-looking 62 Cadillac, made even better looking by our Senator Betsy Johnson right in the back. Hey, Betsy, good to see you, woman. And that followed up by our PUD. Now, there is some involved people.
Absolutely. Man, they're so great to work with. And they have so much going on right now. They've really embraced this green power conversation, partnering with the Port of Tillamook Bay and the digester out there, and have added all new applications, calculators, so that if you are interested in learning about supporting local businesses through the purchase of green power, you can go on their website, and there's a calculator, and you don't have to go all in. You can say, hey, I can only afford $5 a month.
I decided to go in a little bit on it.
We're in,
Tillamook, PUD.org, and
it's a great rate calculator. So you can just determine, hey, if we're willing to go in $5 extra a month to support making sure that our dairies have a place to bring their waste locally, that digester provides such a great service. And the speakers work on this one.
I think the speakers work well on that truck. And here comes one of their stepping up as they do.
Right.
They're Chevy Bolt.
One of their new EVs. Yeah, so they have two of them that are wrapped, and they're great vehicles. They're happy. If you're interested in electric vehicles, they're happy to let you learn all about this one, to talk about the range that it has. Electric vehicles have come a long way, and they now are able to go really long distances between charges. They're much more efficient with the power that they're getting and how far they can go. And if you look at the size of it, not that long ago, electric vehicles were tiny little roller skates. This is a totally reasonable vehicle.
When Landon and Joanna stop by, they're usually driving one of those Bolts, and so I got to have a little inspection of it. Pretty impressive vehicles. And he's got he used to be an officer, so his foot might be a little lead-like at times. I said, but are they dogs? He said, no, they'll get out and go around stuff.
Well, and you just think about what a great investment it was for the PUD. Their representatives of the PUD have work up and down the county. They're going, hundreds and hundreds of miles a week. How smart was it for them to invest in vehicles that get such great gas mileage and that are so fiscally responsible to be driving?
Absolutely. Oh, I think I recognize this fellow in the back of that Forest Service rig.
Oh, Smokey. He's not allowed to walk anymore because everybody wanted to hug him and he was slowing down the parade.
Oh, well, I can understand that.
Usually
it
now
just seems like you ought to hug him.
He's pretty snuggly. So now he often will make an appearance over at the farmer's market. So if you are looking for your time with Smokey the Bear, you can try and catch up with him at the farmer's market, Goodspeed Park. Or, of course, there's always that Smokey the Bear exhibition in the basement at the Pioneer Museum.
That's true. Hey, today would be a good day to stop by the museum.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's open Tuesday through Sunday. Yes, it is. I think they open at 10, but, I can go by there and then go back, and then they have something new.
Yes.
A different exhibit and some of the interesting things. But I love the basement. I love the upstairs.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Such an interesting.
That since I was a little kid.
Yeah. But they do a great job now. They've been rotating out different art exhibits in that main entry hall, and it's fun to go and see local art. They've been doing a lot of partnering with the Forest Service and local artists about the Route 6, Highway Route 6 celebration.
And I said Forest Service, but this was actually our Department of Forestry, ODF, and they're a great place. They're out there on 3rd Street. If you're looking for a map or anything, just to stop by. They're well-informed, of course. And that's followed up by our U.S. Forest Service, Department of Forestry, pardon me, I'll get this right. And great teamwork because fire doesn't know any boundaries.
Right, absolutely.
Our local fire departments also work with them, and hopefully we won't need these wildland firefighting trucks that they've got here.
Right.
Followed that, then right here we've got our search and rescue.
And this is the Forest Patrol. The Sheriff's Office contracts with the BLM and the Forest Service to help provide search and rescue services and just different patrolling services, which is, of course, especially important during fire season.
Well, and that's if you can do your friends and people a favor when you go someplace in the woods or on the river. Leave a plan. Tell them right where you're going to, and show if our sheriff, there they are. And that is, there you go. That's our Marine deputy, and look at that fine-looking boat.
How great is it to see them together like this? So we saw the Forest Patrol from the Sheriff's Office, the Marine Patrol with the boat that they have, and the Sand Lake Patrol. And you can just appreciate how each vehicle is designed a little bit differently for the role that it needs to play in the community. And the diversification of the services that the Sheriff's Department needs to offer is really represented so well in this just little section of the parade.
And here's our Tillamook Volunteer Fire Department. What a gorgeous vehicle. This one, it rolls for parade. Classic
engine. It's really beautiful. And fun to be out walking around with this one.
And we have got such a wonderful, wonderful bunch of volunteers. Couldn't do it without our volunteer firefighters throughout the county. Mm-hmm. And here, this ladder truck, not too long in the parade, but this has got to, it would be nice to never need it except for a cat in a tree, but we've got it if we need it.
Absolutely. And it's fun to see the historic truck that goes first has that wooden ladder and then you just kind of look along, and now this ladder looks a lot more like the ladder I want to be on if I need to be on one.
Good point. Very good point. And there's Dutch Brothers. They've stepped up. I see people stopping there all the time, and I'm not sure.
Man, talk about a company who was ready when they saw the theme this year and heard there was going to be music. You know, they were like, "Oh, we've got the equipment for that.
We're going to do this." This is a lot of fun. There's a great turnout for the Braves Parade. I was thinking it was, well, at least it's not raining, and it's actually starting to warm up a little bit.
It's burning off just a little bit. We're going to be warm without sunburns, Shaena. It's going to be
there
perfect.
We go. I like it. Oh, and I've always did this Rancho Garcia. This is fascinating. I don't know if you've ever gotten to see all of the...
Oh, yes. My favorite entry every year, the dancing horses. So one of the things I appreciate about these horses is, like, you can still hear that Dutch Brothers entry. These guys are not hesitating to keep their music down at all. They have beautiful dancers on the back of the trailer. 2, 4, 6, 8 women in traditional garb dancing with their skirts.
Yeah, they're doing great.
On a moving vehicle. And look at these horses are just bulletproof. They're like, sure, no problem.
And look at these, I want to say Frisian, but aren't those gorgeous, gorgeous horses?
I think you're right. I think Frisian is the word for it. They're the black draft horses with the hair that drapes over their
fetlocks. It's just beautiful.
And just on the far side, we can't really see. There is the most adorable pony.
I didn't see that. There was an adorable. He's hiding behind the other horse. But I'm going to say close to at least a dozen animals or more.
Oh,
There's some amazing horses. And when they stop, they dance.
Oh, yes. Look at, here they go. I'm not sure if you can hear over the music, but their clacking of their hooves is just so impressive. Shaena's going to go ahead and take some pictures. I'm sure you'll be able to see these on the KTIL Facebook page later. And they're just beautiful. This is the biggest group of horses I've seen them enter so far. It's fun to see the women who are on the Frisians, those big black draft horses, are kind of in the lead, and then followed by a fleet of bigger cowboys on smaller horses.
Yeah, that was an interesting combination. You know, one thing, and it does make sense, they keep these beautiful dancing horses kind of away from the rodeo queens and stuff.
Oh, I believe
it. A different attitude. Oh, this is the Swiss. Look at this.
Oh, here
our Swiss Society.
They look beautiful. Look at the Swiss Society banner carrier in these heels. Is there a medal for her? How is she doing it?
There.
Look at those beautiful red high heels.
She's got good legs.
Yeah, she does.
And there's a nice Swiss.
Oh, we've got cows in the parade.
We got cows in the parade. Oh, and they look like brown Swiss to me.
Yeah, they do. This is so fun. So classic outfits for everybody. There's Kim and Matt Lyons with the girls. This guy right here is waving at us, Shaena.
Right there.
There's wagons and flowers and cows, and here comes the classic John Deere tractor.
Absolutely. Fine-looking steer there.
And they're going to have pizza by the slice down at the Swiss Hall. So if you are hungry and thinking about pizza, that could be the place for you. The sound of Swiss bells is utterly amazing.
And we got everybody. You know, that is a staple in this parade, and I'm trying to think. It's been in the parade for, I don't know, maybe all of them.
Maybe all of them.
And that's 62 of them this year. And here is another one, and they always make it over for us, and that's our Royal Rosarian.
So they are entered in kind of a collection of 3 entries. So these guys are going to represent number 27, 28, and 29. So about 100 more entries after this, just for reference.
Just for reference.
Save your voice. So it looks like Don Thacker for Squire James are riding in the convertible that leads the group. And if you've had a chance to see these guys before in their white suits and hats, they have the capes.
And the marching unit, that might have been our Royal Rosarians. They're the official greeters. And it's wonderful that they come over. Now, I think we might be seeing some more Rosarians because we have the Rose group, too. But right now, I'm thinking those look kind of like our PT Cruisers.
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Looks like you're absolutely right. Here come the North Bay PT Cruisers. And they're a car club with muraled cars painted by Stu Hopper of Iowa, customized with different options. They're from Northern California. They're an older group. I assume that means as a group. They've been around for a while. And what they do is just travel, enter, and attend car shows.
They just have fun.
Yeah, they just have fun.
Like
and you
that.
can appreciate, all the cars have been custom muraled. So you don't necessarily notice it from the side, but you can really notice on the back, on the hood. Mm-hmm.
The music, and the murals are pretty impressive. As Sierra said, oh, look at this one with the hot air balloons. And
that's really amazing. It's kind of open book with hot air balloons and a whole skyscape and rivers over the back. Looks great. So you can really appreciate not only have they brought their muraled cars, but they've decorated for the theme.
Yes, they have. I didn't know that PT Cruisers came in a convertible.
I guess I didn't either. Man, that's cute. It's really cute.
It is cute. And the regatta, the Astoria Regatta, that has been around for,
oh, man.
I have to look, but I know that
125 years.
125 years.
1994.
Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that one. That is, and nice of them to travel down to be in our parade also.
So it looks like they won the Grand Sweepstakes Cup. The football players are
getting into it.
They like the tunes of the Astoria Regatta float.
That is our Grand Sweepstakes Cup is going to our Astoria Regatta.
Keep that music going. They have yellow outfits and beautiful float, very sparkly.
That's what it says, celebrating 125 years.
The Astoria Regatta has been designated a historic cultural tradition by the Oregon State Historic Commission. And they have a 4-day celebration happening up there in Astoria that starts on August 7th, and it runs through the 10th. And there's a Queen's coronation and reception, kids parade, movie in the park, Siemens Memorial, the Royal Rosarians rose planting ceremony, Regatta Square Fun Zone, Grand Land Parade, High Water Boat Parade, Pops concert, and fireworks. Something for everyone the second weekend in August up in Astoria. Man, if you were from out of town, you could come here, hit the Sonoma County Fair.
Head up to that.
Head up to
a lot
Astoria.
Of stuff. I've often said that if you don't have anything to do, you're not in Tillamook.
Right, absolutely.
And they're having fun.
Yeah,
people are having fun today, folks. It's a great place to be. Sorry you can't be joining us. Hopefully you are. But I'm glad KTIL has done this broadcast. I think we've only missed not very many. One time maybe back in 10 we missed it, but I enjoy this broadcast. Thanks again to our Oregon Coast Dance Center. You can find them right on Main Street between 4th and 5th. Did I say that right? Between 3rd and 4th.
Between 3rd and 4th. Yep.
3rd and 4th. This is from Twins Ranch.
So
now that is, you see there's out on 101, the other side of Idaville. You see those covered wagons out in the field?
Yes.
You can stay in one of them.
Are they, you can just call Twins Ranch directly. Just Google them. They have covered wagon and tent camping, and these covered wagons are about the size of a tent. Classic covered wagons. They also do catering, and they have a dog grooming business out there, too.
So we're getting to our, I don't know,
Rodeo girls.
I just thought I saw
rodeo men
there.
The Tillamook County Rodeo.
And again, we are rodeoing tonight. We did last night, and today is Kids Day. gates are opening at 4 o'clock out there, and they'll start rodeoing at 7. But this is it's a fun event. It's a fun event.
It looks like we've got a trio that are holding the flags that represent the Rodeo Association and the state of Oregon, and, of course, the United States flag.
And there's our queen, Brittany Norby.
2019 queen. She looks good. Man, I'm telling you, look at those flowers.
Look at the flowers. And I hadn't thought about it, Sierra, but that's got to be kind of a little bit of a throwing the leg just a little higher to get over those beautiful flower arrangements.
Just in case that wasn't enough, look at those chaps.
Oh. Yes. that's true, the way they're attired.
So represented here today, the 2019 Queen Brittany, 2018 Queen Brooklyn Shear, and directors Bob Parks and
Callie Prince. Looking good. Callie was our rodeo queen one year, too. And there's our sweethearts. There's future rodeo queen.
Oh, my gosh, they're too adorable. Yeah, so they have a great float that's drawn by the Le Schwab Tire Center vehicle. Big trailer with a really cute Tillamook County rodeo kind of saloon-style Western facade in the center. Just
work. That is just adorable. Queen. It is. I think I see Grayson and Paisley and Emma and where's Debbie Tupper's probably there someplace taking care of things as she does often.
Looks great. Looks really great.
I'm not sure. I see a pelican flag. Who are these good-looking? I have to admit that I'll have to wait until I see a flag, but these are looking good. Again, I apologize. We have got a nice string of horses. It's coming through now. Oh, and look at that mounted posse. That's pretty cool looking.
I'm thinking
they're beautiful.
Do you think that this is still part of the rodeo entourage?
I don't think so. I'm looking for a number, but I see if it was on her saddle.
Oh, yes.
And
44.
And if the wind.
Here we go.
There she is. The Rodeo Fly Girls. And they're going to be at our rodeo this evening.
So if you don't know what a rodeo fly girl is, you are not alone. They're a high-speed drill team that provides rodeo entertainment for the past 15 years. So these horsewomen come out, and their just entire goal is promoting the Oregon professional rodeo and performing at their best. So you can see them tonight at the rodeo. They'll be ripping around the arena out there. And you can tell these horses are built for speed.
And what these 5 fly girls are carrying, they're carrying the banners of our rodeo sponsors, All-Star Appliance, The Pelican, Sheldon Oil, Robert Warren Trucking, and Les Schwab. Looking pretty good. And what number? Somebody give me a number. There we are. That's another rodeo. Looking good. Looking very good.
Really good.
I'd have to admit they look pretty.
2019 as Queen Jessie.
Benton
County Rodeo Queen Jessie. Their rodeo is in July 31st through August 3rd, and the Larry Bell Memorial All Girls Rodeo, July 31st, and with the NPRA Rodeo, August 1st through 2nd. So they're out here visiting us from Benton County, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 beautiful horses. It's so interesting to see them stacked like this, how you can tell they just have different jobs. These are much bigger animals than some of the horses we saw earlier are coming through.
Some working quarter horses. They're looking pretty sharp.
This is the next best thing to the sounds of those dancing horses' feet are the sounds of this drill team stomping by.
North Queens Drill Team. Pretty impressive bunch of young women. And
this
young.
Is a bigger group than last year, don't you think?
I think so, too. I'm going to say the girls range in age from 8 to 20, but they have been drilling together. The North Queens formed in 1959.
Wow, awesome. They look great. They have blue and white outfits, and if you haven't had a chance to see the drill team before, they're almost a sailor style of cap and white cowboyish boots with ribbons and a specific kind of bottom that's made for that tapping, stomping. The sound is really part of what the performance is. It's Tillamook Senior Meals and Meals on Wheels. They
play an important part in our community. They really
do. Making sure people always have something to eat and some fellowship over their food.
Absolutely.
That's kind of part of
and
it.
I think that's part of it too. Not only that the person could stay in their own home, some and stuff like with a meal and a little bit of time to visit.
Absolutely. And just checking up. Northwest Senior Disability Services. When I was still at the Chamber, we got to do a Portugal trip earlier this spring, and Stacy Zerker, who's involved with the Tillamook Northwest Senior Disability Services, she talked so much about how programs like Meals and Wheels just help keep in the loop, make sure people are doing good in their home, help them feel safe and connected, and if they're ready to make a transition out of their home to a more supportive environment, that provides that bridge to make sure that people get a chance to know what those service options are.
And our Northwest Seniors and Disabled Services out there on 3rd Street, Stacey Duker's got a great person to reach out to, but all of them there.
Oh, yeah.
If you have any questions, that just stop by, whether it be about yourself, maybe it's about mom or dad or your grandparents. Stop by because they've got the information.
People in the community, if you always go to the library at 2 o'clock on Friday and all of a sudden a senior that you've seen every week for years isn't showing up, it might be worth just finding out how to check in on them, make sure they're okay. That's just one of the things Stacey talks about community working together.
Well, and there's our Big Spruce RV Park.
I've heard you can get crabs there.
Hey, and it's the Astoria Clowns. As usual, they've shown up, and they're a fun bunch to have. The Astoria Clowns have been around since 50. They were formed in 56 to help promote the Astoria Megler Bridge, and they're still promoting.
They're Calliope. That's
Calliope.
Calliope. Thank you, Shaena. Calliope is from a steamship that sailed around Cape Horn in the early 1900s.
Oh my goodness,
that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty impressive. Right now, the clowns are out entertaining. They're not playing the Calliope.
They are not playing the Calliope. Oh, the Hoppers.
Oh, it's the Hoppers. I love them.
Yes. So, again, just a little insider parade information. Much like Smokey riding on the cart, the Hip Hoppers have been kind of transitioned from being a specific entry to just cruising up and down along the side of the parade. Everybody wants to visit, pet with the bunnies and the hamsters and the guinea pigs. And so being able to just move the Hip Hoppers up and down keeps the parade flowing, keeps it moving, and everybody's pretty happy.
They are.
The range of these little hoppers is really something.
We've had a little guinea pig, and then we have one big hopper. That's a good-looking hopper.
Hopper is the size of my dog. A large hopper.
Nice-looking rabbits and cabbies. Is that a director?
Yeah, I think you did it just right. Thanks that's the save for
the Calliope?
Yeah. So the Roses are walking by.
That mobile rose garden is pretty impressive. It's a touch, and if you haven't been to our rose test gardens, they're beautiful.
They really
actually, now you could just stop by KTIL because Van Mo takes care of Mildred's roses. They're in front of our studio.
So they're looking pretty good.
They're looking sharp. They're looking sharp.
Man, I had the opportunity, the Master Gardeners do a rose pruning workshop in the spring. That's always worth keeping your eye out for. I've learned so much from just dropping into those workshops. Here comes our classic, Elena Tilden.
And Elena's going to be joining me next Saturday at Boys Implement.
Oh, fun. Awesome.
We're going to be selling tractors, and she's going to be singing some Patsy Cline. I think those might be the Outpatients, that group. There's more rock and rollers.
Yeah, they're rocking.
But, yeah, we are going to be over at Boyd's is having a field event next Saturday.
Oh, that's so
from
fun.
11 to 1, I think, and you can stop by and drive, or 11 to 2. Eat some barbecue, but
Sure,
check out one of those, I don't know, the zero-turn mowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have enough room in my backyard, but
We were at
I guess the zero turn would be the right one to have then.
yeah, exactly. They had the Roomba version. We were at a place the other day that had the robot version that you just set out there, and it just
I think those would be kind of cool.
bonked around the yard. Not bad, right?
There's our all-star appliance, and
They look like they're advertising Customer Appreciation Day.
right there, kitty corner from, well, I used to say it's the old Kephardt's, but now I just say it's kitty corner from the
Farmer's Market?
Across the road from the Farmer's Market. In fact, I parked in front of them. And I say, join us for free cold water and hot dogs today only. All appliances, barbecues, and smokers on super sale.
Fun. Man, you parked in the right spot, Shaena. There's going to be hot dogs on the way home.
Now, and that is a lot of our businesses step up for our parade, and that's you see that. You get to talk about them.
And they're so helpful. Man, I can't tell you the number of times I've gone in there just ready to bite the bullet and buy a brand new appliance, and they have just laughed at me and said, nah, give me $15, I'll give you this part and tell you how to do it. Like, man, they have been so good to me.
Nice people, great people. The Burrises, they've been there for a little while now, moved over there, and they were one of the businesses that needed to move because of our
highway project realignment,
and found them a great spot right where they're at.
And Aaron Burris is on city council and really active in the fire department. And I always encourage people to get to know their city councilors. And I think that if you reach out to Aaron Burris, you'll find him very approachable, very interested in wanting to understand more how to do the best job he can in that role. I know the highway project was a really growing experience for him, and how devastating and terrifying it was to have to relocate as a business, and kind of the learning process of that. And he has some great things to say about kind of the evolution of being in that new space and what it's meant. And it certainly is a great showroom for them and a beautiful space.
It is. Convenient. It's easy to get to.
Yeah.
Easy to park. Good parking.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly so. And I wasn't thinking about Aaron, and as so many in our community steps up, whether it be as a firefighter or to be on the council.
Right.
And sometimes that's the best. Instead of forming an opinion, do a little bit of research.
And there's always room at the table.
Not that I don't form opinions myself. I shouldn't,
Oh, yes. The opinion.
Well, and this is our Tillamook School of Dance coming up. And thank you, indeed, the TP Freight.
Yes.
I think they might have known somebody over there.
Right.
Actually, this is Tillamook School of Dance participating in its 59th. Remember, there's been 62 parades. This is the 59th entry.
So, what I think you'll remember from last year, Shaena, is that they actually, at the chamber, we created a special award for them as the most romantic entry. This was the proposal last year. Remember that?
That's right. That was such a wonderful proposal last year. I remember that.
So right here in the front, Danielle, who got engaged at last year's parade, recently had a baby. It's been a busy year.
It's been a big year. And she's dancing her heart out.
She looks great. The kids on the float all look wonderful, ready to rock.
They're looking wonderful.
Yeah. They love these community performances. They came and performed at Warner's during the Waterfront Walk celebration. And, just like this, the girls just come out en masse. They always have these fun outfits. Today's outfit is kind of a mermaidy, sequiny top that's just perfect for the light that we have today.
And folks, about 150 entries from our Tillamook School of Dance. And again, this is their 59th time parade to be entered. Pretty impressive.
Man, wouldn't it be fun if they had someone who danced in the first parade? I didn't see any one.
Yeah, I didn't see any that looked like they were in the first. Not that they couldn't have yet.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah.
Well, they've got some little guys here bringing up the rear.
Yeah, they do. Great outfits, and I think they're, again, it's clearing off a little bit, and a little bit of a breeze. But these young people that have to walk in this long parade, I think this weather's perfect for them.
I think you're right. I think otherwise it could be pretty unbearable pretty quickly.
Well, look at our Tillamook Rally girls here. Now,
how cute are these guys? The cheerleaders. The
Tillamook Cheer.
They're here in pom-poms. These are not the high school cheerleaders. These are average age, what do you think, 9? 9.
Not any older than that. I think that's a little younger than 9 there.
Pom-poms bigger than heads out there dancing and catapulting and cartwheeling their way down the street.
They're doing a great job.
They look great. So they have been, I think they got also voluntold to carry the Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And so the older Tillamook High School cheerleaders who appear to actually be in high school.
The first time I heard that term, voluntold, was Jim Rice, our fire chief in Garibaldi. It said something. I said, they're going to be here. And he said, yeah, we voluntold them. I like that. I'll have to remember how to do that. And they are working here. They're followed up by our entry for our MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and our Tillamook High School cheerleaders. And behind them, our Celebrate Recovery. Great bunch. And if you need to talk to someone, you'll find people to talk to reach out to in this community. Sometimes you don't know. Yeah. And if maybe it's someone in your family, there's always, there's people to reach out to make it a point.
One of the places I've seen a great list of the resources that are available in a very kind of subtle place is just at the library, at the bulletin board at the library.
That is interesting.
Great spot to kind of look and see different groups, support groups that are meeting in the community. Recovery is a lifelong effort and something that touches so many people's lives in so many different ways. And so sometimes just having a group to spend time with and kind of share what's hard, pour water on you when you need it.
Yeah, exactly. That was
cute. This is cute. Their banner slogan now is for every hurt, habit, or hang-up. So if you want to learn more about that, Celebrate Recovery is very active. You're right.
And this looks like our Miss NPR Northwest Professional Rodeo Association. That's Emily Breckel. And what a fine-looking.
So she's performing in the final September 20th and 21st at the Oregon State Fairgrounds in Salem. Holy flowers. Now look at that one.
That is gorgeous.
Up to her shoulder.
I'm going to say, do they put the flowers on after they mount? Because that is just like, how do you get on?
I feel like you might have some insider information after your son.
Well, that's right. Vince is out there, and he was marshaling horses this morning. I'm going to ask him how this.
We'll be able to talk about it next year.
And there's our Columbia Bank. Nice entry. Again, playing with our theme.
Utterly amusing. Looking good. So one of the other things I noticed, Shaena, from the steps here of Tillamook Ford is how many Fords are in this parade. Beautiful blue Columbia Bank Ford is cruising by. Hi. Oh, that's right.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely. Bribe your media personalities.
And we're standing in a good place because they bring us candy. They bring us pretty nice. They bring us candy.
So Megan has recently transitioned over to Columbia Bank and is just doing a great job getting them plugged in here in Tillamook. And I'm sure we'll just see more and more of Columbia Bank. Next, entry 58.
That's beautiful.
Jim and Mark Hines.
This 57 Chev Bel Air, a 350 engine. Glad they put this down. It's the original Air Glide automatic.
Right.
Nice looking.
Very
nice
handsome
looking
car.
Prestige Senior Living out at Five Rivers. They do a lot of interesting things. I was talking to a fellow that they recently had out there, cognitive, so that people could take these classes, stay in their home.
Yes. Oh, great.
Very nice. Oh, boy.
Here comes Joel Baker and Kitty.
Thank you.
The Buffalo Kitty Band.
And I think they're partying.
They're really a fun band. How's it going, Joel?
Hey, Joel. They're having fun.
Joel is one of many, actually, great musicians that we have in the community. Tons of experience.
And nice if you can have live music. There's Carl Wilson. He played with Hart at one time. And
Phil Bierman in the sunglasses there from Pacific Restaurant.
Oh, nice.
He'll make your steak
Phil,
and
that
bake.
man knows the guitar.
Yeah, keep that guy safe.
There's our Shriners Hospital, and what a great, great job they do of making sure all children, and it doesn't matter of income, are taken care of at their variety of places.
And I can't imagine the parade without these guys, the Shriners.
Absolutely not. See, the Grand Lodge are Masons in Oregon, but their purpose is to support, call attention to the 22 shrine hospitals and burn centers for children in all of North America. It provides care for children with orthopedics, spinal cord, cleft lip, and it doesn't matter the income.
Right. They'll make sure that people are taken care of the best way that they can be taken care of. Here comes the concert band. So these guys always have this great vehicle that is good exactly for this activity. It's kind of a tiered, stacked trailer and has room for the big drums, the little drums, lots of horns. And one of the reasons I think they always put them here is that the next entry kind of you can't hear the next entry coming.
Oh, that's right. Good point. It's almost 100 feet long between the pickup and the trailer, and it is really impressive. Designed just to haul that great band we were just listening to.
So here they come. The men my children want to be. These guys are having more fun than anyone else in the parade. They have the little tiny four-wheelers, and they are just whipping around. How many do they have today? 2, 4, 10.
There's a bunch of them. I went to a little car.
Yes, 11 forerunners and a miniature hot rod, and one motorcycle?
One motorcycle. Is he part of this? He probably is. These guys do have a lot of fun, and they're pretty good on those things.
They're pretty impressive. They have some synchronized kind of movements that they do. Our sponsor, Oregon Coast Dance Center, they've been working on their synchronized movements. I bet they're coming up soon here in the parade.
Oh, they are. I think we should be seeing them pretty soon. This little car that is a fine-looking standard-bred poodle across the street, and friendly, too. He came out to visit with one of the clowns from the Shriners.
Classic Ford Mustang here. Kind of rounding up the Shriners entry?
I think so. Following, we have a couple more Shriners vehicles, and then I see the Girl Scouts back there.
The Shriners are not always as on task as one might think that a Shriner would be. So I think we have a little holdup of Shriner clowns, actually clowns, not a description of their
they're real clowns.
Their behavior.
Pardon me. They're clown-like, clowning around, clowning Shriners.
And gray sunglasses, big hat, and the full clown outfit on a little tiny motorcycle.
I know my motorcycles, but I don't know that one. There's a little tiny scooter. Thank you.
Looking good, guys. Looking good.
Look great. And how he's doing it with those huge feet.
It's a mystery to me.
I guess kind of operating with his heels, maybe.
Keep you from tipping over? That's probably part of it. So they had almost a parade within the parade. They led with a converted older vehicle, Crown Victoria type vehicle that was painted like in a Shriners police badge car, and they have a second matching one to end their entry. So it's almost the parade inside of parade.
61 through 72.
Yeah, not joking.
Not joking.
Here come the Girl Scouts. Man, they look great. They have their, I guess the brownies, right, or the brown vests. And, have a great banner, utterly amusing banner. And many, look how decorated they are.
They are.
Patches.
I don't know much. I was a campfire girl.
Oh,
so it's kind of like the Scouts and campfire girls. I'm not sure, but Girl Scouts, I always think if they had cookies.
Right.
The Girl Scout cookies.
They're doing okay.
And here, Bay City, and that is our Jody Daly, and maybe Kim is there with her, because the Pearl in Bay City will be the last Saturday in August. It was a great one last year. She did a really good job.
Perfect.
And that'll be coming up. The Pearl Music Festival. I think there might be oysters.
Probably going to be some oysters.
Jody did a great job. There's her husband, Kim, and he also was very involved. And there is our fire truck from Bay City. My Jeep with the banners. That's our Jeep, and this is one of our fire trucks. Nice-looking truck we've got there. Glad to see Bay City with their rig helping promote the Pearl Festival coming up again the end of August.
Ken and Jody came along to the Ireland trip that we did, and just had so much to say about Bay City and what a great community it's been, and just are so invested in the future and the success of that Pearl Music Festival. So
absolutely. That's Bay City's Volunteer of the Year. And, again, great to see their truck here, as always.
Saturday, August 24th this year. So
August 24th this year.
Make sure to mark that on your calendar.
I was saying that's about right. That's Saturday. And it is right there in the park. You'll find it, a lot of the businesses involved in it, and a heck of a lot of fun for everyone.
Just an easy way to spend a Saturday.
It is, because it was... And last year was really impressive. I'm looking for it to even be more this year.
I love that the emphasis is on music, and it just sounds so fun to sit outside in the sun. And
it was. They did, and the city stepped up with a new tent that'll be available for other events too.
Oh,
and
awesome.
So they were good use of their TLT dollars.
Right,
yeah.
Great. I bet it brings in a lot of people from out of town. It's Amy's birthday.
It's Amy's birthday. Happy birthday, Amy.
And they are celebrating with the University of Oregon Ducks Model T in the parade. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
And so then next, that one went by
pretty fast. It's the Power Pep Band.
They're on fire.
They are really something. We'll have to let them take over here in a moment. The Power Pep Band has been entertaining audiences for 20 years. They play rock and roll music in the style of traditional college pep band.
Their float is themed with flames, and so they have flaming shirts, flaming hats.
And they're having fun.
And this is the Power Pep Band of Portland, Oregon. They're on Facebook. You can go check them out. And their little slogan is Power Chords, CHORDS, without the power chords, CORDS. Power
chords without the power chords.
Not what I think of as acoustic, but theoretically acoustic, right?
There you go. And here's Tillamook. This is our Pig and Ford. And well represented. There's our Tillamook Ford right in the front. There's our KTIL car. What did we get? 15 this year.
Looking good.
Look, and here's 10 of the... If you haven't been to the Pig and Ford, where have you been?
This, again, just like the TCCA, just like the PUD, you get to see how reflective this is of the family legacy, So,
absolutely.
These Pig and Ford cars stay within the family. They're franchises that are that stay within the family, so you have to kind of pass it down from family. Like I can't just go build one and buy in.
Yeah.
I have to know, you have to be somebody.
And local businesses step up and sponsor so they can be in parades. They'll be at I know there've been a few rodeos and a few other parades. We'll see them again at the Garibaldi Days Parade, the end of July, fourth weekend in July.
And it's a lot of work to keep those things tuned up and running and going, and you can see the kids all over the place.
Here's our new rig from our Tillamook Country Smoker. This is a nice one. I think this thing could roll and be serving. They've made some nice changes. Oh, look, there's Amanda. She might bring us some stuff. There's Oops, she's out of stuff. Oh, there's a nice gentleman. Nicely, you can get even get the sugar-free and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you, dear.
So they have this mobile unit is set up to open, it looks like, to pop open and
good
be
to see you.
like a food truck. They could just roll up and sell meat right out of the truck. It's beautiful.
And that is a perfect setup for them. They've made some changes, and they've certainly added some people. They've been adding employees out there. That Smokehouse 9 that they added there on the end, that's an impressive structure. When you're driving back, you've probably seen it. Smokehouse 9, I'm thinking there must be 8 others, and that 9 was a huge one.
Right.
When they left the roof open, I thought, what are they doing? And then one day I saw them have a big crane out there, and this huge truck came in, and that's what they were doing, waiting to set in this massive smokehouse right there on the end that faces 101.
So cool. That's a business that's gone through some evolution lately, and it's great that it's stayed local and is such a big employer and a big part of the economic picture here.
Absolutely. Stop by retail. They're open 9 to 5, 7 days a week right there on 101, and grab some of their great tasting jerky. This is the Old Iron Show.
Woohoo!
Are they? They're a lot of fun.
Activities.
This is in, I want to say August 15th out at the Blue Heron.
Third
weekend in August.
Yeah, so you could Tillamook County Fair, Astoria Regatta, Old Iron Show, Bay City Pearl Festival. Man, there's a lot happening.
And that's what I've said before. I mean, if you don't have anything to do this time of year, you must not be in Tillamook.
Right, absolutely. And so they kind of start with that loud air horn and a classic Ford with a trailer that kind of talks about the sponsors and everything. And then next comes this fleet of old iron vehicles. So you can really get a teaser of what to expect.
That's pretty interesting.
So
I think I might have needed that. I'm not sure what it's doing.
Well, you were saying you're going to Boyd's next weekend.
I'll find out.
You'll get to see, I'm sure, a slightly different version of this machine here.
This Minneapolis Moline is towing, the implement that it's towing does some kind of tilling, is all I can tell you. It's a pretty fascinating contraption.
I think it must flip up hay after you've got it.
It could be a rake.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's going to toss it to hay. That makes sense. I'll go with that one. Al's Repair, small engine repair, is being advertised. That is, what is it?
That's a 1948 Gibson tractor.
There you go.
And he is towing the most amazing series of wagon-sized trailers that are all holding different engines.
Yeah.
So you can see there's a 1930 engine, a 1929 engine, a 1920 engine.
And the Old Iron Club, there's people out there that are really interested in visiting about things and all this stuff. And there's kind of some interesting things to buy.
Yeah.
There's a nice-looking John Deere.
Perry Jones, making sure things are looking good. Keeping things on the up and up, this guy. He's got a classic John Deere, what you think of when you think tractor, pulling a John Deere engine on a little trailer. And here's a 1936 Ford 1.5-ton truck.
Nice looking.
Restored locally. One of the things I like about this is that they have everything really well signed. you can really, if you go to the Iron Show, you know what you're looking at. You know, it's not just like a bunch of old stuff.
And Vince Bogart and his wife, nicest people. Michelle Yankstad.
Fun, cool,
yeah. Nice people.
So that wraps up the Iron Show entry, and next, Rosenberg Builder Supply. Man, have I spent a lot of time here recently. We're doing a kitchen remodel, and between these guys and Allie Kimmel, we're making it happen.
Well, in that, we're lucky to have experts, so you can go find something out. Hey, Loden. And that's Loden Hooley driving that fine-looking rig. Owner of Rosenberg. Glad that he's got the place. Nice man. Find anything you want. Build it, plumb it, wire it, paint it. Rosenberg Builder Supply. Now, who's that? I like that one.
This is U.S. Bank, I think.
Tillamook U.S. Bank, and that is a nice-looking pickup.
Wow, yeah, they're not messing around. So big, beautiful truck. I would say that is, do you think that's the husbands who have been voluntold?
Yes, voluntold.
They're pulling the
I like that. I like that phrase. I'm sure that Vince didn't realize when he said, I said, oh, I don't know, honey. They just need someone that's comfortable around horses. And he said, I am. Oh, he didn't realize it. I said, oh, wait, let me tell him that you're
well, quite what he was saying yes to.
Yeah.
So the U.S. Bank children are out in force. They have really fun tie-dyed U.S. Bank shirts on, and they're tossing candy from a float that is decorated with a big barn and hay, really on theme.
Here is our parade sponsor, the Oregon Coast Theater of Dance, and it's a beautiful, beautiful entry.
So big truck required to pull enormous trailer loaded down with dancers, including Miss Clatsop County, Renisha Speed.
There she is.
Hi, Renisha. So if you are on Facebook and have a moment to check out Renisha, she's under there as Miss Clatsop County. So Tillamook doesn't have its own representative. We're kind of looped in with Clatsop County. And Renisha, who works here at Nearspace and dances with Lisa at Oregon Coast Dance Center, is going on to Miss Oregon and on to Miss America if she does well there. So really excited for her. And she dances with all these girls. They look great, don't they?
They do, and they're doing a great job. Good job, girls, looking very sharp. And, I got to meet Renisha. What a nice young woman and a great representative for us. And this is our Tillamook County Riding Club. This riding club has been together for many years. In fact, I want to say 100 years. The club has been active in the county for over 100 years.
How fun. And look at the age range of riders, there are some little peanuts aboard here.
Nice.
And I love the women who are kind of helping the younger girls, making sure these horses.
Well, I'm happy with this nice young woman following up behind because they all do need their own pooper scoopers.
Right.
And I've got a young woman on the tractor and a couple of volunteers, I guess.
Those look like brothers to me.
They look like brothers.
They got the scooper duty. And all signs point to having been pretty active in that role. So, look at this. Angela Roman is running for Congress, and she's out here at the parade today. And I'm sure we'll be around in the community if you want to learn more about her.
Way to represent. I like to have people show up and get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
Good job.
Nice convertible.
Nice-looking convertible that they're riding in. Here's our June Dairy Festival. Festival's Cup. And
entry.
Let's see. Is that one of our...
Maybe not.
Yeah, let me see.
See.
We're looking, I'm not sure, but I think there's 90.
Oh, it's the Philomath Frolickin' Rodeo Queen Mallory.
Mallory, thank you. It's a long drive up here, but, they travel a lot, making it out to all of the rodeos.
look at that gorgeous bouquet. I don't know what we call that. It looked like they got the whole garden there on the back of that.
Blue and roses and white. So she will be performing at the Philomath Frolic and Rodeo July 11th through 13th, and wants to make sure that we're all invited and welcome out there.
It's got some glitter on her ruff, too. I meant that beautiful horse that she's riding.
Not Mallory.
Not Queen Mallory. Pardon me. Oh, Steve Fisher in that 40 Chev coupe. That is a nice-looking coupe.
Handsome car, really a lovely blue car. I can't help but look at all their rubber now, and I'm just going to say, Nick's not wrong. He had the nicest rubber so far.
That's a pretty fine-looking rubber on that.
Dance Zone girls are out. So number 92, they've got the Vanguard. Sarah Absher, who's kind of recently kind of stepped back from her role at the head of Dance Zone, and she's still involved in leading up the entry. They have a truck with a float full of girls,
and they are utterly amusing
and doing all the moves. Look at this one. It's fun to see them come out like this in their different costumes from different performances that they've done. And busy girls. Looking good, guys.
Yeah. They do look great. And that is, again, I love it when all of these show up. Oh, look at a Rieger family tree farm.
Woohoo!
And that's it says, our future is still growing. Yes, it is.
Second favorite motto in this parade. A bigger fan of Warner. We're ready for everything. But our future is still growing. It's a close second. It's a beautiful,
nice-looking 3-log load. You don't find those very much anymore.
I think the driver of this log truck is approximately 7 years old, as is his passenger. Just tall enough to completely obscure the fact that he's sitting on someone's lap.
Yes, just tall enough. I'd like to take that picture. I'm going to have to take that picture, too.
Absolutely. So this load is full. This log truck has logs that are topping way over the metal side rails, and all of that wood is just 3 logs. Really a beautiful load of lumber. Fun to see these big trees in the parade like this.
You know, we have as many entries, in fact, more entries than the Grand Floral. I realize we don't have maybe some of the large floats, but they don't have near as many log trucks either, or tractors.
They're calling for us. Hampton.
Okay, thank you. That's Dave Raw. That is Raw of Tillamook. That's their truck, and throwing this from the Rieger Family Tree Farm. Again, our future is still growing.
Great truck, good message. Really fun to see the kids out.
Nice looking KW. That takes a little work because these things, I don't think they spend so much time getting polished when they're working every day.
Monday afternoon.
Probably not.
Man, so Shaena and I are wrestling this notebook back and forth from each other. We did this one. Let's see, where are we? Oh, it's the Miss Rodeo Oregon Sweetheart Pageant contestants. More horses than usual this year.
It seems like that to me. It's great
to
see so many in the parade and good weather for them. Again, they don't appreciate it being too hot.
Right.
I'm sure.
It's beautiful.
But we've got
these guys are so fun. They have the names of the horses, I think, on the sides of their like the horse chap. So we're seeing Rowdy was horse number 1 that came through, and Rowdy has a little look. That's not just a name.
Rowdy, I think, is the daughter of Nicole Israel. I don't think that might be the Rowdy Israel.
Oh, really? Maybe.
I don't know.
We don't know.
Junior Miss Rodeo Oregon contestant Hannah, and there's Morgan and Penelope, and let's see. Look at these fine-looking animals.
Man, Penelope's horse has flowers just braided all through her hair. She's really something.
And Kendra, they polish up these animals, don't they? Looking gorgeous.
Miss Teen Rodeo Oregon contestant Lacey. I think you might be right about that name business. Sorry, Rowdy.
But it seemed like a good name.
Like a
and
good
here's
horse
another
name.
pooper scooper doing the job.
Yeah. The dog is doing his part too, isn't
he's
he?
helping pull. Pooper scooper is just a wheelbarrow, but it's got a dog helping pull, and so she's got a little work. Some of those motorized pooper scoopers seem like the way to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought that tractor lineup was pretty on par. Oh, here we go. OCFC. Man, Shaena, have you had a chance to visit with these guys out at the radio?
No, I haven't.
We should talk to Brandon and see if he'll come out and check in with you. So Brandon and Rachel Affolter have really championed this league and have worked hard with the creamery and have a huge soccer complex project going in at the old Safeway property. That's all kind of unfolding. The number of kids involved with this program is just unbelievable, and it's a traveling program. So these kids, our kids on the team, we drive over to Beaverton, Hillsborough, Portland to play, and they will play here. And one of the things that will come out of this soccer complex is the ability to host more games here. So
nice.
What we've seen on days that we're hosting is literally 1,000 families are coming for the day. And at every one of these games, those families are saying, as we finish up, we can get to the cheese factory.
That is really impressive. No, that's our Oregon Coast Football Club.
Yes.
And for grades 4 through 8,
I think they start younger than that. So our guy Henry, who's going to be in kindergarten this year, he played.
I think it might have said 4-year-old.
4-year-old
grade.
And then they roll from this program into the high school program.
Nice.
So it's just a really impressive, classy league. They have registrations opening now for the fall season, and there's a fall season and a spring season. Very inclusive, really fun.
And soccer has become more and more popular.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's popular in other parts, but something that I think our young people are following. It was my niece's favorite sport.
Yeah, I think it's great. And it's just a really inclusive activity that gets the whole community.
Notice those backpacks. It's tools for school.
Speaking of community, yeah, looking out for people.
And how to get involved. The tools for school, I think that they're going to be handing out some flyers. It's gone through a kind of a transition, but I know that our local churches and that are helping with it. But we'll find out more and share how you can help with Tools for School, because filling those backpacks so that all kids start on an even playing field.
Absolutely. And they're always looking for donations and people to help stuff bags.
Warehouse 10, that's look at them. Yeah, I like that. Another
nice vehicle. So they have, I actually had the pleasure of hanging out with these guys at the DMV the other day.
Oh, really?
If you could call it a pleasure.
Home decor?
Yeah, so they are up in Rockaway in a warehouse space that's converted to this really wonderful retail location. And if you haven't been up there, it's a great chance this weekend to go. It sounds like they're having a sale. And if you like, if you're a fan of shows like Chipper and Joanna, what's that one called? Fixer Upper.
Fixer Upper.
This could be the place for you. They kind of farmhouse, coastal decor. They have jewelry, gifts, beautiful spot.
That is a father-son project car. It's a 72 Buick Skylark, and it's our entry for our Pelican Brewing.
So Darren Welch has had this car out for lots of years now. It's been fun to see it continue to actually be nicer looking. That restoration has really played out over years. Yeah, it's a beautiful car. And Darren is kind of, he's the brewmaster at Pelican. He's the guy that was making beer in the storage unit in Pacific City before they even moved into the original location. And
he's been around for over 20 years.
Yeah, he's still making beer and now has some helpers so he can indulge himself in these other motor projects.
There's Stimps in a tradition of quality and pulled by a Fallon truck, and looks like they're handing out some trees.
Yeah, nice. That's great.
That is
big Stimp. So this entry looks like it's a two-parter. Here's the before and after. Truck number 1, full of logs, Looks really good. Truck number 2, after.
And that's what it looks like. I think that's Fairview Farm. Is that Fairview Farm?
It's pulling a trailer full of Simpson lumber package. Feel free to just drop that off at 10th Street, guys.
And that's one of the things I see Fairview trucking, and when I think of Fairview Farm, they've got different loads. They might be hauling hay back in,
right?
They're shipping lumber out. There's John Wehage, and now he's one of the management there at Simpson. He's out handing out trees. There you go. You can grab a tree, and but a beautiful job. It's what happens here. They're out at our port.
Yes. And, John has done such a great job participating in OSU Extension Service stuff, 4-H programs, and just really understands how important it is to educate early and help kids understand forestry and how forests work and the relationship of forestry with the economy. And great guy and really involved locally.
I've worked with John. He is. It's a very nice, great guy to work with. Here is Yates Line Company. Now, it's a power line contract company. It works primarily in Oregon. Those power poles, now you can see how it's done.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive because you think of one of those poles, how do they set that in the ground? Well, that's how they do it. Good job, Yates. Thank you for appearing.
Look at the power poles marked at the end, and it says candy in white paint, and then they have the bucket hanging down that kids are throwing candy out from. Yeah. Super cute. Moon Meadow Dairy is entry 111. And
an old baler that was
big John Deere tractor.
And that baler was the kind of baler that was around when I was a kid, and they used to say, don't set the weight over 80 pounds. The kids can't. I don't think they make the kids haul their own. Oh, boy. It's called Death Trap. You may have seen this rig before. This is a 1936 Dodge Brothers pickup, and I don't think it could sit any lower.
It is all, but I think last year when it was in here, it must have dragged some metal off the bottom, so it's not dragging this year. It is.
It's on the ground.
On the verge of being high-centered on a piece of candy there. Beautiful, cool car, though, with the engine completely exposed and fun to look at.
Followed up by a fine-looking Mustang. I'm going to date myself a little bit because that looks like mid-60s to me.
I knew a guy in high school that had one of those, and I think you're about right. It's very pretty.
What was it, 65, 60-something when they first came out? And, I thought they were funny-looking back then, and I don't anymore.
You've come around.
I've come around.
I remember this guy talking, and I was in high school, saying something about pony leather interior, and I just could not fathom what he was talking about.
Beautiful vehicles we've got in the parade today. Here's some more entries from our Pelican, born at the beach. We've got a couple of places you can enjoy Pelican right here in town, right on First and Stillwell.
They have the outdoor seating spot right there that they've expanded a little since they've opened, and just a great place to sit outside and have a beverage.
And they do some really fine events. That was fun. They did one to help for the animal shelter recently. They did that beer and cheese pairing thing.
Festival.
That turned out. Oh boy, that turned out. A lot of people
really
showed up
one.
for that. And
they're just such a great story about growth. They've expanded exponentially and are, I think, the largest growing brewery in Oregon.
One of our greatest employers with the Kiwanda, all the things they've done down in Pacific City.
Mm-hmm. They call it the Kiwanda family of companies, and they have that Cannon Beach location, the Tillamook location, the Pacific City location. And the brewery here just pumps out an insane amount of beer.
And talking to Jeff and Mary, they want to be involved. They want to do it in a positive way. I think they're nice people, great people.
Absolutely.
Bennett Family Farms, what a great deal. I like their milk.
Yes.
You can actually there'll be cream because the milk is pasteurized, but it's not homogenized. So you actually get cream top milk.
It's great. You can call and have it delivered. If you are just coming through town or have people that are coming out for the weekend or something like that, you can pick it up. I think it's a Food Roots Farm store,
right?
Which is now on Main, just a few blocks north of us, between 1st and 2nd on the east side.
They have it at the Co-op. There's a few places. Matt Friel.
Yes, that's right.
You can get it at Tillamook Meat, too. There we got Randy Jones, and that is Myers Mac Dune Buggy. Dune buggies used to be a lot of fun.
It's this is great. It has a place on the entry form where you can talk about the dimensions of your unit, and they went ahead and measured it out for us. That dune buggy is 6 feet by 10 feet. And they have kids packed in there.
Here's our entry from our Tillamook Air Museum. We did change it just a hair, but that is one of those concept planes. It's a Christina Mini Coupe aircraft. You can check them out on Facebook for their upcoming events, but there's always something happening out at our... That is kind of an interesting looking vehicle. I don't know if I'd want to fly in that, but it looks like only one gets to anyway.
What a great little vehicle. And, you know, if you're interested in learning more about the Air Museum, they have recently started a Friends of the Air Museum nonprofit group that's looking for participants to kind of just help stabilize the future of the Air Museum and what will happen there. You know, that such a cool historic building.
There's our Tillamook Eagles, people helping people, and they've stayed with the theme.
Utterly amusing.
Those are utterly amusing.
I'm going to say handcrafted likenesses of farm animals.
That's okay. I'm going to go with that one. That makes sense. And there's a jukebox on the back. They're sticking with their theme. They did a good job.
It is. If you ever had a bad dream about the novel 1984, that's kind of a visual of what those characters look like.
There you go. 119. Let's see who. That's a fine-looking vehicle right there. It's a 71 Chevy SS. I could have seen that right there. There's
they are dressed up.
They
look good in there. It's a beautiful red car, and they have great outfits that match.
And I know that Blue Star, he has got some impressive vehicles. Oh. But this is his 52 Dodge pickup from Blue Star and looking really good.
He's got kids helping him out, man, and those kids have practiced jumping in and out of this vehicle. They're handing out coffee cups with cards. I will tell you, I have one of those punch cards in every vehicle I have, not just the cars, but each one of my strollers. So when we're out for a little walk and
well, I may do it differently because I forget mine, so I have more than one, but they're really good. So I bring 3 of them, and they bunch them all together for me, so you can do that.
Yes, yeah, that's awesome. And their little logo. Okay, but first, coffee. Man, if I had $1 for every time I said that.
Here we've got Tony Lee, the new Lot 101 auto over on Pacific, and I want to say about 10 or so.
Nice.
And they're having their grand opening today. I think there's going to be hot dogs and a few things. And they said they've got some lifted rigs that are going to be over there so people can check them out.
Oh, cool. That's great. Yeah, that's a nice spot there, and cool to have some new options. This entry that they have has something going on in front that I've never seen anything quite like in my life. It's kind of a moving, flashing, it looks like a stage feature. Like if Metallica got up and played in front of that, but instead it's just the grill of their truck.
Well, and they can do so much with the lights. It was like when I was at Roby's for that Happy House Hour.
Yeah,
it's amazing what those ovens can do and everything.
Right, beautiful. Yeah.
So
things you didn't know you wanted.
I shouldn't be surprised that a pickup can do it too.
Sure, why not?
That is pretty impressive.
So
might be a little startling if I saw it behind me.
On the trailer, they have a big full-size Jeep. And, I just had noticed that you'd called out that we've hosted that Jeep Jamboree out here in Philly.
Right.
So if you're interested in joining, Shaena, all you need is that Jeep.
I just need that Jeep.
You can hop right in for next year. And there's also a big full-size 2015, probably F-350. Yep, looks like
nice
it.
Looking Ford.
I bet they'd let you go home with that today.
Yeah, I bet you could. Whoops. Whoa, wait.
And they're representing the forts today as well. Here comes look at that cute baby. She has a cow outfit on, and they're just driving some more of those trucks and just continuing to promote that today they have that open house over at their spot.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of things happening over there. Stop by, of course, and now we're going to be followed up, it looks like, by our Adventists. I'm not sure what this 24/7
UTV Performance and Accessories. So if you want to learn more about it, their phone number is 842-5160.
There you go. There you go. It's a local outfit, and that's a fun-looking rig. I think that might have been down to Sand Lake before.
Yeah, that looks a little wild. UTV Utility.
UTV. And that was it. That's a fun rig.
We'll be doing some homework for that one for next year. The Adventist Health Center, they're out walking. First time in the parade. Here they are, keeping a safe distance.
And Terry, what a neat woman. She gets to stop by. I saw her just the other day. Very interesting. They've got her doing a lot with urgent care.
Awesome. Hey, how's it going? Wow, cool. We're losing paper. Cool, they've got a float full of kids, and it looks like they're passing stuff out.
And here, bringing up the rear, and a nice place for them, is our city sanitary service taking out your trash.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I had the opportunity to go to a field trip there recently to the recycling center, and what a great job they did with the kids, showing them all the equipment and emphasizing some of the safety things, like making sure they know that when that beeping sound is on, it means that the truck is in reverse and you need to pay attention to where you're at, and just explained a lot of stuff about the equipment. It was so cool.
And this is our drug awareness, Oregon Elks and their van, and just say no to drugs to start. Say no. Association. The future starts here. Good for you, Elks, and thank you for being here.
Elks Care, Elks Share, they're a great organization and here in Tillamook, and we're lucky to have them as a community partner in so many of these things.
We truly are. And here we are. I think that's probably Nick again with that good rubber on that.
Yeah, look at that. I know. I can tell. Yeah.
And bringing up, and it is, we're coming to an end of our parade, but what a great day. And Sierra, as usual, thank you for joining us. Thank you for people for sharing this great day with us. One of the things that, again, a great sponsor here at Tillamook Motors, some really impressive vehicles. I didn't get to tell you about this fine-looking Lincoln. It's not just Fords here. That Lincoln MKC that they've got, what a sweet ride that is. Stop by, talk to Jeff, talk to their salespeople, whether you're looking for one of their new Fords. That Ranger, again, the new Ranger is pretty impressive.
It's really beautiful. And then we should make sure that we just one more time give a shout-out to Lisa and the Oregon Coast Dance Center as the sponsor for the parade broadcast this year. And she did a great job giving us this history that the OCDC has been around since 1975. And has changed owners a few times, but kind of continued the legacy of performing at the fair, performing, of course, in the Dairy Parade, at Moonlight Madness, and they have annual spring recitals. And their next big performance, solo performance, will be their Nutcracker production, which is December 13th and 14th. And we're so grateful to have them and their support for the broadcast, and hope that you get a chance to learn more about OCDC.
Well, and one thing, folks, as you clear out of town, just be careful. There's a lot of people, a lot of kids on the street, and our Tillamook and other officers will help you get out of town as efficiently as you can. But sometimes you just kind of slow down and wait a little bit. Got a lot of visitors. But for now, again, thank you very much. And I know, Maria, thank you back at the studio. But let's go ahead and send this back to the studio. Thanks again.
Thank you.